So we have just come from seeing Black Panther, and this is incredibly exciting. I mean, in my opinion, this is the best Marvel film they've done. I am just absolutely losing my mind over right now and cannot wait to talk about it. Oh my God!
Let's do it. So Black Panther is the latest entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is the final film before Infinity War, a little bit later this year. This film follows the events of Civil War from last year, where T'Challa, who is Black Panther, returns to his home nation of Wakanda, and he's now the king. He's now king. He's got these king responsibilities. I don't want to say too much else about the story because this is actually a very kind of different type story for Marvel to handle. And here it's handled by Ryan Coogler, who is the director of two of our favorite films ever, Creed and Fruitvale Station. So going into this review, I just want to say first up that for us, our focus here was this film as like another film from one of our favorite directors of all time before looking at it as a Marvel film. We're looking at it as his film first.
And what's incredibly exciting is he has delivered here a standalone Marvel superhero film.
It feels like it's his.
It's his own little film. I mean, like, yes, this is part of the MCU, but really, like, you can go into this film never seeing a single MCU film, and you'll get
story.
Everything. It is its own little beautiful masterpiece.
Or near masterpiece at least, because this is undoubtedly one of the best things Marvel has ever done. I haven't seen a lot of their stuff in a long time to know. Currently, like, Iron Man 1 has always been my favorite Marvel film, but I'm pretty sure, like, on a bit of a thought, probably on rewatching this one, this will be the best. As you've already said, it's your favorite. Everything here really works. It's taken everything that I feel like people have had problems with Marvel movies overall, and just by focusing on making a film first, focusing on telling a story first, and not focusing on being a funny movie or kind of an action movie first. It's just focused on telling a story with really, really well-written characters, and that is why it succeeds.
This was just, like, seriously an enlightening experience for me, both, like, culturally and ritually. Like, I've just never seen these type of things on camera before in a superhero film, and that's what was just so exciting to watch. And moving on to exciting to watch, the performances from everyone here are absolutely outstanding. I mean, the ensemble, the cast here is just perfect. Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, along with Lupita Nyong'o, carry some of the greatest acting presence I've ever seen on screen. And Boseman blows my freaking mind. I don't know how this guy just acts, but, like, every time he's on screen, my attention is just drawn to everything he does. And it's not just him here. As I said, Michael B. Jordan and Lupita Nyong'o, for me, deliver absolutely fantastic performances that just carry so much emotional weight. In particular, Michael B. Jordan here plays our villain and does it absolutely expertly. But also, we have to make mention to Sterling K. Brown. Because he comes in with a little bit of a cameo just to go, hey guys, I'm gonna make you cry.
And I think what really sells the film here and kind of elevates it is the sense of world building. They've kind of taken this setting that is possibly the most abstract kind of setting one of these superhero films has had that's not set out in space like Guardians of the Galaxy. They've taken this world that is kind of almost alien to a degree and made it completely tangible. Ryan Coogler has always nailed this kind of sense of intimacy and this kind of street level world view, and he completely gets it right here by showing all these little kind of interactions in between. It's not just always focused on the characters, but on how the characters are interacting with that world around them and how that world responds to them. He's always finding ways to really show off all of this immaculate kind of this design of this world, the costuming, the sets, the props, the locations even. Everything here has been really, really given a lot of care and attention to make it feel tangible. And it's not just the quality and attention to detail, but it's also the attitude that Ryan Coogler shows towards his world. This is a world that's full of so much love for the world itself. All these characters are so passionate about where they come from, no matter where that may be. And I think having that kind of overall attitude towards the film really elevates everything within it.
And honestly just makes it incredibly memorable as well. And I mean, like, Coogler's direction, again, here we get some fantastic long take sequences, whether it be in action scenes or whether it just be in a scene where they're talking. He finds a way just to shoot a scene in the most creative way possible, and in ways that we haven't seen in Marvel films probably since Joss Whedon, as far as I'm concerned. concerned.
Even before then, I've got to say, like, I don't think
Probably
we've ever
ever
seen a Marvel film where it feels like the director has a creative stamp that is carried over from his previous films. It does have that attention to kind of long takes, to reframing, to refocusing. Yes, this is his most kind of back and forth cut up type film, and yes, I think the action kind of suffers in certain points, even though this film has some of the best action sequences in the MCU. Some of the stuff that's kind of like previous CGI does suffer a little bit, but overall, the just kind of camera work here and the cinematography, while I do think that some scenes early on were underlit, and I know you don't agree with that, I think it's been a thing out there, just a little bit difficult to see in some of the nighttime sequences. Overall, I think this is some of the best cinematography we've seen, if not the best, inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, well, Rachel Morrison absolutely delivers here. Obviously, she just copped an Oscar nomination for her work on Mudbound, and here some of her work is absolutely fantastic. It's gorgeous, it's so well lit. Yes, there is definitely a couple of scenes, I will agree, later on in the film, especially big action scenes where they kind of feel as if it was definitely shot in the studio.
Choppy,
and it's all very well lit, but when it is getting quite intimate, I mean, it's stunning, it's gorgeous, and the overall aesthetic of the film is so well realized.
And while you can only go so far with sets and locations, the VFX actually are used here to really expand the world in a really, really effective way that, as I've said before, keeps it incredibly tangible. I think what's really important here is that for a long time, a lot of people out there have kind of had an issue with Marvel's comedy, and especially the way it undercuts moments. Now, Ryan Coogler kind of flips the switch on that because he never ever undercuts a moment, and if he does, he uses it to draw attention away from the fact that a scene had finished, and let's switch the attention somewhere else by using a joke and then continue the scene that way. It's a type of creative writing that we haven't really seen here, and I think so much of the comedy doesn't come from telling a joke or having a pause and then someone say something funny or do something funny. So much of it comes from like dynamic, in the moment kind of character beats with putting two characters next to each other, the contrast, and that kind of contrast and conflict creates this kind of comedy through the different attitudes. And that is so much more engaging. I have to say, it is perfect comedy-wise because it feels so much more engaging than comedy in superhero films has felt for a long time. Nothing here ever shifts the attention away from the story. It's so much about the story and these characters and their relation to it, their relationships to each other. I do want to say that I think Black Panther as a hero, T'Challa, he's so invaluable right now, particularly to this universe where all these characters are slowly becoming kind of comedians and they're becoming kind of goofballs. This is a character very similar to Captain America, where, yeah, he's capable of occasionally making a quip or kind of saying something with attitude, but he's just a stoic, heroic person who is obsessed with doing the right thing and is obsessed with family, and I think that focus on family here makes him feel like something we haven't really seen before.
And honestly, the character of Black Panther is just so goddamn important, and I'm so excited that this film exists and has existed this well. The ideas of Afrofuturism here and the way that this film is made just absolutely, like, literally melts my heart. Much like last year with Wonder Woman, where we had a film that will inspire so many girls around the world, and we finally have a female character like that for people to aspire to. I am so goddamn glad that we finally have a character like this for people everywhere of African descent. It doesn't matter where you come from or who you are on Earth. Like, to have a character like this for kids out there is so goddamn important and actually just means the fucking world to me. And I'll get emotional because, like, seriously, this shit fucked me up when I was watching, especially towards the end of the film, because goddamn, this film hit me hard by the end, and I didn't think it was going to, especially being a Marvel film and being an MCU film, but Coogler definitely delivered, and I gotta say, goddamn, there's a Moonlight cameo towards this end of the film, and that's all I'm going to say. If you've seen Moonlight and you watch this film, you're going to have a lot of appreciation.
This film really, really excels in that opening and final scene and this kind of story through line, particularly the involvement of the villain. The villain is so central to this story, and that's really what kind of elevates that narrative overall, this kind of combat, this conflict back and forth between these two opposing forces. And the fact that this film can kind of start somewhere and end somewhere that's so powerful, so linked together, feels so uniform, makes me feel like this is the first Marvel film I would ever want to go and actually analyze and break down, because there's so much more here than just surface entertainment. There's so much here in terms of just fantastic storytelling, and that's why I think it's finally transcended the Marvel brand. And while I can't shake the feeling of this being a Marvel film and me walking out of it and not really knowing too much like how I feel currently, I definitely have to go back and see it. I know you are completely wrapped at this stage. I do love this movie. I can easily say it is one of the top 3 Marvel movies so far, and Ryan Coogler once again has shown that he is one of the best directors on earth at such a young age as well. He's made 3 films in a row that have just been absolutely incredible. Black Panther.
But yes, look, overall, Black Panther has delivered on so many levels, and I just think it's because we have Ryan Coogler here, a man who just understands stories and understands worlds. And my goodness, I am so glad he decided to make this film because it was phenomenal. Please check it out. Black Panther was fantastic. I'm giving this one a 9.5.
And I'm giving this one an 8.9 for now. That will probably go up on seeing it again. Right now, I'm really, really wrapped with the movie, and I just think this is a really, really wonderful piece of blockbuster entertainment, and it's at a standard that I think most films of this kind of budget and size should aspire to reach. So that was our review of Black Panther. Have you seen it yet?
Did you like it?
Did you hate it?
Did you like this video?
Of course you did.
Subscribe for more banter.
If so, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel down there somewhere.
And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, all at Breaking Bad.